What's up guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of Game On Garage. Today might be a bit of a all over the place episode, but we're finally starting with our planning and our fabrication for the roll cage in our race car MX-5. So here are some of the things you're going to need. Some cardboard to make the template, some sort of tape to stick it all together, a Koki or a marker, pen for drawing, and some scissors to cut out your template. Let's get started. So I want this roll cage to fit underneath both the soft top and the hard top. I did some measurements and the soft top is slightly lower than the hard top, so ensuring that it fits underneath the soft top will make sure it fits underneath the hard top as well. So let's get this up. And now I can start measuring. My first measurement is going to be for the main hoop. So it's going to start up with the height. I've had a look at a few of the examples of roll cages or roll bars available online, and they all mount right here next to the safety belt. So I'm going to measure from there all the way to where my first bend will be, right underneath the soft top. Alright, we have to take one slight step back as we need to remove, first of all, the carpet by removing the pins over here, the plastic clips. Then we're going to remove this tin cover, as we won't be bolting the roll cage onto this thin flimsy tin cover, but straight onto the body beneath it. So there's a few 10 mils all the way around, remove those and we take it from there. So with this tin taken out of the way, you can see why we actually did it. Previously we measured from this height, and that was only a tiny thin sheet of tin and would have never held the roll cage in case of the worst to happen. Now we've got some solid metal, a solid piece of the car, and we should take our measurement right from here. So there's a thin lip over here that we'll need to bend away, as well as this one at the bottom. So make sure that you measure from the flat surface and not the slight lip there. And here we can see we actually went from around 45-46 centimeters all the way to 60. So this is our strip. I made it 5 centimeters wide because that's the width of the diameter of our steel tubing we'll be using. I've got it a bit longer than 60, so you can, sneak up on it, trim it down. Keep it right next to the seat belt post, as that's where we would like to keep our cage as close as possible to that, as wide as possible. And then the other thing is the tubing is going to make a bit of a bend, so we have to keep that bend in mind as well. We're not going with 90-degree square angles. So just mark it over here and then trim it down. With it trimmed down, we can see that it fits quite nice right underneath that main hoop of the soft top. We can always trim it down later on. That's the whole point of the template. So next we're going to draw that bend and fit it from there. Now, after doing some research, I found out that the center line radius for the tube I'm using should be 5.5 or 6.5 inches. An easy way to draw that bend on a piece of cardboard is measuring from a corner, measuring your 5.5 and your 6.5 inches, which in my case is 14 and 16.5 centimeters, and dotting that down exactly on the edge here on both sides of the corner. Then get a piece of string or wire and wrap a Koki quite tightly around it, ensuring you have a good grip. Then keeping the corner of your angle right by the string, ensure that it is connected at both marks. And there we go. Next one. So now we've got our two options for center lines. I've decided to go with the 5.5 inch as it allows a bit more room, the tighter radius. So luckily my tube is 2 inches wide, which is 50 mils, So adding the 1 inch on the outside and the 1 inch on the inside will give me a good cardboard replica of what my bench should look like. So going for 4.5 inches, which is 11.5 mils, or 11.5 centimeters. And we can add that radius as well. And there's our bend. Now I've got to make 2 of these. With our 2 corners cut out, we can start sticking them together. Now as you can see, this radius adds quite a bit of height. So that 60 something centimeters we measured earlier is going to be way out, but luckily we can just chop it off on the other side. To attach these 2 together, line them up as square as possible. And then we're just going to stick them on both sides. And then we've got one part of our roll bar. Let's add a few strength pieces to it to stop it from flopping around. So we're going to use a slight piece of one of our offcuts, and using grain running up and down to help prevent it from bending slightly, we're just going to add that piece on there. And now we can use this candy stick to measure inside the car, underneath the soft top, our total final length we're going to need. So with the up bar complete and cut to size, we're going to add the first part of our crossbar of the main hoop. Now this is very important that these 2 are square 90 degrees. So I know that this is a square 90, and since a normal square is going to protrude into our bend, as you can see there, it's quite clever to use the part that you did cut it out of. As you know, that will fit quite nicely. Line it up. And then stick that one together. Now since we can trim the ends of the actual roll cage down when it comes back from bending, the length of this upright bar is not crucially important, but we're getting it as close as possible for now, which I think we are pretty much at. So I've got it square on the bottom here, square on the side of the safety belt mount, and then right up top here, it tucks in right underneath the soft top, and I did check, if we keep it in place there, that the soft top can actually go down with it in place. So now we need to measure the length of it and then add our other bar. So I can start off with adding the other corner to our other up bar, and then we'll trim the crossbar to length. Alright guys, our cardboard roll cage is actually in the car. Let's have a quick look. Now, as you can see here, it fits in quite nice, tightly against the roof, but with enough space. I did test it, it can go up and down. Here's a better view of the lighting. So I took the measurement between the 2 posts over here, and then I took the measurement with just one piece already connected, and I measured between the 2 legs, and I saw that we needed another, I think 9 centimeters. Cut that piece out, put it here in the middle, and there we go. It fits quite nicely. I did check that it's level, so I believe all our angles are 90 degrees, and that's something that the company that's actually bending the pipe for me will also ensure that it's 90 degrees. But yeah, so far I think it looks quite good. And the most difficult part for me is to get the bends done, as I don't have a bender. But after these bends are done, the rest we can all do here. It's just going to be the straights for the harness bar and some braces going to the back, and then of course the plates where the tube will mount onto and which we're going to bolt into the car. But there we go guys, that's how you design your roll cage using CAD, cardboard aided design. If you like this video, if it helped you out, maybe consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, you like what you're seeing, you like where this MX-5 race car DIY build is going, remember to hit subscribe so you can stay up to date. But in the meantime, remember, it's not game over, it's game on.